Hello Airsoft friends, and welcome to this video today where I'm going to go over my current Airsoft kit because I've had a play around and I'm absolutely loving it right now, and there may be some stuff in here which can help you out with your Airsoft kit if you're having a little bit of trouble making it work for you, or you just want to try something different. But before we get into that, I just want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons for supporting the channel month after month. You guys are all amazing, and I just want to say thank you very much. I appreciate all of your support. It's been fantastic. You allow me to keep doing things like this, so thank you very much. And of course, a massive thank you to you for watching this video. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you click that big old subscribe button. I will really appreciate it, and you will too, because there's loads more content to come. Anyway, what is my kit now and why am I so bloody excited about it? Well, not too long ago I was having a conversation with one of my friends, Henry. Hello Henry. He hadn't played Airsoft for a while and wanted to get back into it again from watching some of my videos, so I think that means that my videos work, which is good. Also that people watch them, and I appreciate that you do. Anyway, he wanted to get back into Airsoft. I wanted some advice on guns and kit to get, and blah 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 blah. He eventually got to a shop where he managed to buy a gun, and he picked up a Krytac from my recommendations because, as you know, I own a Krytac. In fact, my Krytac is right here. It's quite bashed up. It's been through the bit of a wars, you could say. It's missing things, so like the dust cover doesn't stay closed at all. When I pull the charging handle back, my ejection port cover kind of doesn't really do what it's supposed to do. And there's also a cutout here from when I was trying to wire my Max hop unit tracer type thing, and I couldn't work out how to wire it internally, so I cut a hole in my upper receiver and kind of my lower receiver too, in order to put the wires externally of the gun, which is a terrible idea, and I know that, but it's what I did at the time because I had no other idea of what to do. So this is my Krytac CRB Trident Mark II thingamabob. It has served me well. I like to think of it as my first proper M4 that I bought. I've put a Titan MOSFET in there. I've got a max speed trigger. I've put a new piston in there as well because I shredded the teeth on the first one that I had. And apart from the hop unit and the hop rubber, and by the way, the hop unit tracer isn't wired in at the minute because I just did some maintenance on this and I ended up ripping the wires off by accident. Apart from that, everything else in here is stock. So that essentially means the barrel is stock, all the gears inside is stock, like the cylinder is stock, and yeah, that's kind of it. I've also done this fancy little bit of taping on the stock here. In terms of optic, I'm running the Novrich V3 red dot sight, which I absolutely bloody love, and I have got my run cam scope cam 2s on the front here, the 25mm for my looking through at the shots camera and the 3.6mm for my face camera, and a cheeky little angle foregrip on there too. And altogether, this thing I absolutely bloody love. I've not run it for a while, and after speaking with Mr. Henry, it kind of made me feel a little bit like maybe I want to run my M4 again. And that's a bit of a weird feeling because I love my sniper rifles, and I've been very excited about my Mod 1, which is here right behind me, because I've played around with that and I've kind of got it set up perfectly ready to go. Again, that's got a Titan speed trigger, the whole works. The only downside with that is that it only has 80 round stick mags, and mag capacity is really low, and I don't want to run around with magazines absolutely everywhere. Also, at the minute, trying to find mags for that is really difficult because they're expensive, or you just can't find them in stock at all. Now, I do make drum mags for them through Project Airsoft, which hold over 1200 rounds. So if you have a Mod 1 and you would like to have a drum mag, you can pick one of those up. Link is in the description below. But for me personally, I'm much more of a stick mag kind of guy. I mean, depending on the scenario, sometimes I will take a drum mag out with it and just absolutely hose people down when needed. But most of the time, I quite enjoy ammo management, like knowing how many BBs I've got. I feel like it's quite tactical, and I feel like it's a good, mindset to kind of be in. Also, with the magazines I use with this, they're Aries 140 round magazines, and they're see-through, so you can actually see exactly how many BBs you've got left at a time. So I'll be there pew 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 pew, and then I'll be like, hey, I wonder how many BBs I've got left, and I just spin my gun and I can see here I've got roughly 28 BBs, and then I'm like, cool, I can either change mags. That actually caught it. Let's go. That was first time as well. Let's go. So then I can either change magazines, or I can just, use the rest of these BBs up, and then I can, swap out to one of my other magazines that I've got on my rig. Let's see if it wasn't just a fluke. Oh, let's go. That is my M4. I'm absolutely bloody loving it. And I also have a ton of magazines, which I have been running in my battle belt. But before we get into this battle belt, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that big old subscribe button. Go on, you know you want to. Now, this battle belt I've been working on for a while to try and work out where is the best placement to put things, what kind of stuff I need to have on here, where it can go. And I must say, right now, it's set up in a way which is just absolutely perfect for my current type of game style. I mean, it just kind of looks looks like a belt with a load of magazine holsters, and then there's a grenade holster on the front there. That is exactly what it is. However, I do not have any holstery things kind of directly on the back or directly on the front here as well, because I found that if I put stuff here, when I lean forward, they'd actually poke me in the gut, and that wasn't something which was comfortable and kind of affected my mobility. This actual battle belt is Velcroed on the inside, and it does come with the soft Velcro bit, which you put through your shorts or through your trousers, and then this kind of sticks onto it and then clips together at the front. And that is so good because it just keeps everything in place. Everything is where you need it to be. It's always in the same position. I've used belts before in the past where it hasn't had the Velcro on there, and it just kind of like flops around, moves around a lot, and it just kind of keeps moving, and that's not something which I'm down with. But this Velcroing in place and clipping on the front, it doesn't move anywhere, and it's absolutely fantastic. Now, I have got one grenade holster there on the front there, and depending on if I'm playing CQB or if I'm playing out in woodland, I'll either put a disposable grenade in there, so like a paper-based thing where I just like wire pull it, throw it, and then forget about it. Or if I'm playing more CQB in buildings and things like that, then I'll take my Quake 8 grenade and have that placed in there instead. So depending on what I want to do, I've got options with that holster there on the side. And yeah, along with that, I've got 7 magazine pouches here as well, so I can have 7 magazines in total with me, along with the one that I've already got in the gun, so 8 mags. And that's generally enough BBs for most of the stuff that I'm going to be doing. Although, depending on the game type, sometimes I will take this magazine out and instead in here put my medic bands, so I can either medic myself or medic other people back into the game and just have more life time out in the field. It's not really that bad swapping one magazine out for more life, and generally speaking, you know, if you know you're going to be out in the field for a long time, you can just take a magazine loader with you, leave that in your spawn, and when you do eventually die, just refill your magazines there. So that is my belt. And if you are going to be using a different gun to like an M4, then you could just put a load of like, you know, SMG type holsters on there. Maybe if you're going to be running a pistol for a primary, you can just put a load of pistol magazine holsters in there as well and run those instead. But I must say that just generally speaking, having that kind of like belt setup, I feel like I'm more maneuverable, I feel like I'm more lighter on my feet, I feel like it gets in the way less, and I'm genuinely really loving it. So if you've not tried a belt only setup, it could be worth having a little play with that. So we've done the gun, we've done the rig, what have we got left to do? That is the head and eye and face kind of protection area, and this is something which again I have spoken a lot about on the channel. Now whenever I give my kind of advice on this, I always say to you that I would rather use plastics than mesh, because even though you can get some really fancy mesh eye pro, you've always got the chance that a BB could hit it, shatter, and then you can get fragments of the BB through your eye pro, and yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. But I have actually managed to create something which has allowed me for the first time ever to use plastic eye protection without them fogging up one bit. And seriously, I've used dye i4 and i5 masks, and I fogged the hell out of both of them, whereas this, I have had zero fogging issues, literally zero fogging issues. So what I have done is I have got my little hat set up here. I've got my GoPro mount on the front, of which I've slightly mounted it forward and to the left, because I find that that actually gives me a better kind of perspective when I'm playing airsoft. Top tip to you filmmakers out there. And I've got my bump cap insert in the inside of there too, so if I get shot in the head, it doesn't hurt. But what the eagle-eyed of you may have seen is I actually got these little slits cut out in the side of my hat as well. And the reason for those is I can actually slide in the arms of my eye protection just like that. So I get that side in there and that side in there, and I kind of push them in a little bit, because now the bump cap insert is pressing against the arm and that's pressing against the hat. When I put the head protection on and everything together, I can now move the eye pro and put it exactly where I want it to be, and the hat holds it in place. So it's not squishing my ears, which I always found to be a problem as well, and can kind of get a bit hurty as the games go on. And because I can kind of like have them angled forward, that what I think the science is happening is the hot air from me is kind of going straight up and isn't instead kind of like forced into the eye pro. Because the arms, as you can see, the arms of the eye pro are high, which means that they're kind of like angled forward. And I think that having that angle there is the reason why these aren't getting fogged up. I've had no issues with them at all. I've been sprayed in my face with them and I've been perfectly fine, and it is so much better than wearing mesh. I cannot push that to you enough, how much better it is wearing these instead of wearing mesh. I feel safer, everything is clearer, everything is brighter and lighter as well. Even though you can get like the Hero Shark ones, which are like larger holes than your standard like neutral eye protection, they still stop light from getting into your eyes and will still darken everything a little bit. So if you go into like a darker side of the woods or you're playing CQB or something, then you need as much light as you can. But these, oh my my days, this setup is absolutely beautiful. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about your teeth shoe? Don't worry, I hear you. I'm a big advocate of teeth. So what I actually do is I have got a Delta mic face protection snood thing here, and I've had this for ages, tried it for a game, and I just couldn't get on with it. But now I actually get on with it really bloody well. When I go out for a game, I put this on here, and then I put my little hat on like that, push my eye protection on, and then I'm all like comfy and all good to go. And then when the game's about to start, I just put the master mic on, but I have it as far to this side as possible, so literally just this side of my mouth here is covered, and then I lift it up onto the hat, which then kind of keeps it in place because it's got like kind of grippage, and now my face is protected. I can speak normally, I can breathe normally, my eyes aren't getting all fogged up, my hat is all protected for me there, and the best thing as well is when I come in here to sight in my rifle, because I moved the Delta mic to this side, I don't have anything on my cheek here stopping me from getting close in to look down my red dot sight. So this is super comfortable, I'm protected, and I'm not fogging up. It was the best day ever when I tried this out and nothing bad happened. It was amazing. Genuinely, I am so happy that after all these years of testing and trying out different things, I have finally found a kind of like head rig setup which doesn't fog up. And genuinely, I'm just, I bloody love it so much. I am so happy with that. Now, I do actually still carry around these with me on my battle belt just in case I do fog up. I don't want to, like, you know, try to go back to the safe zone to swap my eye protection out, so I actually carry these with me just in case I do need to swap my eye pro out mid-game. And if I did need to swap my eye pro out first, I'd get a marshal to like kind of watch the area to make sure that I don't get shot in the eye while I am making that swap. I am so happy with that. It is bloody great. The belt, the magazines, the hat, the eye pro, everything, literally, it makes me such a happy panda, and I am having a fantastic time running my M4 once again, and that's something which I'm genuinely super excited about. So look forward to seeing some M4 gameplays because they're going to be coming to the channel very soon.